So, the topic of today's discussion is border gateway protocol and some of the message types in BGP. I shall also show you some very overall high level example that how BGP works, just to give you a conceptual idea. Okay. So, talking about the border gateway protocol BGP, well, as you can understand from the name, we are talking about something called border. You see, for every country, border is an interface with some other country, right? Similarly, in a network, when you say a border gateway, it means it is like a router, which is often called a gateway, which connects this network to the outside world, to other networks, to other, you can say, routers. Okay. So, let us see what BGP exactly is. Now, as I said, BGP is the most widely used exterior router protocol. Now, exterior and interior, I explained the distinction earlier. Let us say when you have several autonomous systems, suppose these are all autonomous systems which consists of networks and routers. So, you can have one router here, and maybe one router here. These are exterior routers or these are border routers. These border routers can connect with each other depending on means how you want to connect. There can be multiple ways of connection, and it is over these links that connect the border routers you have this BGP protocol running. So, you will also have BGP here, but inside the autonomous systems we will be having some of the interior router protocols running. Okay. Now, what is the role of BGP? BGP allows these routers to exchange routing information. Like for example, the router sitting in this particular autonomous system does not know what is the network status of the other two networks, other two autonomous systems. So, once the other router sends some information to this particular router, so we will have some information about the other place, how the network situation is, what are the available routes and so on, so that the local routing tables can be updated accordingly, right. And these all BGP messages which are transmitted, they are sent over TCP connections, and based on that, as I said, the routing tables of the routers, they get updated. Now, BGP comes in various versions. Presently, version 4 is most common, and as I said, it is used to communicate between routers which are across autonomous systems, which we say inter-AS routing, right. Inter-AS means across two different autonomous systems, and as I said, for exchange of the messages it uses TCP with well known port number 179. So, 179 port number is reserved for BGP packet transmission, and similar to RIP which we talked about, here also we use a version of distance vector protocol, meaning every router will be sending some information to the other router over this exterior links, telling about the distances with other networks and other places. Now, there is one difference in RIP, which was an interior protocol. Here these distances refer to distance between routers within the autonomous systems, but here since we are talking about other networks which may be outside this autonomous system also. So, here there is an option of specifying complete routes, not just the next hop. Suppose I want to go from X to Y, what is the path to be followed, what is the sequence of routers I should follow, that also can be additionally specified in BGP. Okay. So, that if you want, you can have source routing facilities implemented, if of course your router supports that. Now, here we have a pictorial view of what we have said. You see that there are 3 autonomous systems, as you can see. There are 3 AS1, 2 and 3, and these blue links which connect some of the routers, they run the BGP protocol. So, these blue links will be connecting with this router. Okay. So, you see these will be the boundary routers or boundary gateways. They will be connecting with the routers of the other networks, right. So, it is between these routers that this BGP protocol will be running. Now, in contrast, inside the network, wherever there are routers also, for updating information with respect to a particular autonomous system, they will be using the interior protocols. Typically RIP was used earlier, but as I said, now the most commonly used is OSPF. Of course, there is a version of BGP called internal BGP that can also be used as an interior routing protocol.